The gentleman from Washington is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, nuclear weapons production played a pivotal role in our nation's defense for decades, helping to end the Second World War and to end the Cold War. But implementing these programs resulted in a large volume of radioactive waste that the federal government has a legal responsibility to clean up. Today, there are indications that nuclear waste is leaking out of the underground tanks at Hanford in my congressional district, with higher levels of contamination now being detected in the surrounding soil. The amendment that I offer, Mr. Chairman, would restore a portion of the reduction for the Environmental Management Program that would so greatly impact the Richland Operations Office and help enable the cleanup to move forward safely, efficiently, and in a timely manner. I'd be happy to yield to the subcommittee chairman.
I appreciate your long-standing commitment to Hanford, and I support this amendment, which is aimed at strengthening environmental management and the Richlands Operations Office. EM is a priority for the subcommittee, and I look forward to returning to Hanford, as I have in the past, to get a first-hand look at the latest challenges in progress, and we know there are lots of challenges. As you know, Representative Hastings, the Department of Energy has not yet provided confirmation of probable tank leaks, a record of decision on the potential for tank true waste, or a plan for the waste treatment plant. This information will be required as Congress completes the appropriations process for the Office of River Protection.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your support for this amendment and for your position on Yucca Mountain in the underlying bill, which is the ultimate solution for Hanford's high-level tank waste. To remind the chairman, I am meeting with Secretary Moniz later this week, and I'll reiterate the need for the information that you just outlined for WTP. And I also recognize the discrepancy in the allocations between the House and the Senate bills. I want to ask the gentleman, how do you anticipate that these differences will be resolved, particularly as they pertain to EM, in the event of a continuing resolution? And I yield to the chairman.
Would the gentleman yield? In the event of a continuing resolution, the Department of Energy has the flexibility in determining funding levels for individual programs and projects, including EM. Mr. Hastings, I'm pleased to support your amendment, and I wish you success.
Thank you very much, reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman. I hope we don't get to a CR, but thank you very much for that information. At this time, I'd like to yield to my colleague from Southwest Washington, the General Lady from the Appropriations Committee, Mrs. Herrera Butler.
Gentleman from Washington is recognized.
Hanford, as the gentleman mentioned, was the reactor used for the Manhattan Project and was used to build the U.S. nuclear arsenal during the Cold War. I recently had an opportunity to tour Hanford with the gentleman, and so firmly believe in this amendment because this is a federal government responsibility. This wasn't a choice by a local community, and the cleanup just is simply beyond the scope of the communities involved. This matters to people in my district and up and down the Columbia River, which is adjacent to your area. And I would urge my colleagues, this is not this isn't somebody's pet project, this isn't somebody's good idea, this is a responsibility. The gentleman said a legal responsibility. I would add to that a moral responsibility of the federal government to put this money here and help aid the cleanup at Hanford. So with that, I yield back. Thank you.
I thank the gentlelady for her remarks, and again, I urge adoption of this amendment because this is a legal obligation. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back my time.